Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Got a match for you today, a domination match on Northern Waters. We're top tier in the Royal Navy Tier 6 battleship, Duke of York. Man, it seems like just the other day I was talking with Vaz Vegas on a stream about how the Duke of York was not really my favorite ship and how it wasn't his favorite ship and how it kind of sucks. The Duke of York, I almost said the Duke of New York. A number one, don't you forget it. The Duke of York is a King George class battleship. We're moving out on Northern Waters. It was laid down in 1937 and saw combat in World War II. Blah, blah, blah. Part of a task force, Scharnhorst hit the Duke of York, but the Duke of York hit Scharnhorst and was damaged. And the Duke of York eventually sank Scharnhorst after a 10.5-hour battle. Eventually scrapped after the war in 1957. Hopefully that's all true. Alright, really quickly, WoW's builds, damage record 213,804. Wow, amazing. And the base XP record 3,805. Those are pretty amazing matches. The Sigma of the Duke of York, 1.8. The fires per minute, 2.02. Arming threshold of the armor-piercing shells, 55 millimeters. The overmatch, 59 millimeters. The overmatch, 25 millimeters. All right, shooting out there at the Bayern, who gave us a little bit of the broadside. As you can see, relatively good shell grouping, except for that one shell. We do get 4 penetrations there and over 12,000 damage. So I know I'm spotted. There are no destroyers in this match. So, hey, there is the Fiji. We're going to remember he's there. We're going to turn in towards the Fiji. And we're going to activate our sonar in case he threw out some torpedoes there. Looking into the distance, our fellow Tier 6 British Premium, the Nelson. We will engage the Nelson and do a smidge of damage. Maybe I should have shot again at the Bayern, don't know, but I can never turn down a shot at a broadside Nelson. That's the rules that I live by. The Nelson's still giving us the full broadside. There is so much of it. And we should have a Nelson match next week for you guys. Front 2 turrets going out at the Nelson. Alright, hit the Citadel there. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but we are getting closer and closer to the smokescreen where the Fiji resides. So as much as I would love to keep shooting at the Nelson, we're going to have to let that go here because we got bigger fish to fry. And what you're about to see, I guess, to me, would be some great action involving the Duke of York, which really kind of emphasize what it does well. Obviously, that sonar, you cannot understate how valuable that is. Broadside Fiji, front 2 turrets, hit to Citadel there. We do a pretty good chunk of damage, probably 3/5 of his damage taken off right there. Moving in, continuing to move in. I'm not worried about his torpedoes. I'm ignoring the Bayern. I'm ignoring the other battleship that is behind the smokescreen. Starting to turn. The Fiji, I think, was torped out. And so, looks like he reversed his turn. We will shoot into the mist. Another hit to Citadel. Kill number 1. Moved in here on the Bayern. Again, we're ignoring that ship in the background. We do take 2 torpedoes on the nose. And we are just going to go bow on to this Bayern here. He has given us a very nice profile. And we are going to engage him here with our front 2 turrets. There they go. And we'll turn to get the 3rd turret on target. It is out. And that is the end of the Bayern. Kill number 2. Alright, still got the Nelson over there. Just checking on him. We've got the Ismail up close and personal. This is not the profile you want to give the enemy ship when you are in the Ismail. Trust me, I know. Alright, just the front turret only on the Ismail. We're going to line that up. Citadel hit there on 1 pen only. I don't know how all my other shells missed from this close range, but we'll leave that up for Inside Edition investigation or something like that. Alright, continuing to move in on the Ismail. I'm just ignoring all this other stuff that he knocked out a turret, and then I'm on fire. We were giving him nothing except the bow. We were going to get the reload. And he's taking a ton of damage, and we were going to fire another Citadel hit and finish him off for our third kill. Alright, turning back, we were going to engage our heal, our last heal. And we were going to engage our damage control party to stop the fire. And out there, what do we have, folks? We've got the Nelson. And so I'm like, hey, it'd be nice to have a little bit of assistance. And I'm going to be regretting that call for assistance here by the end of the match. Because as you can see, I am clearly the most far forward ship. But I had to do that in order to take out all three of those ships that we ended up in the midst of. Alright, turning to get my rear turret on target. And look at the Nelson is going to turn and give me a really full broadside profile. So we will light up the Nelson. Also got a DeGrasse over here. We do okay damage on the Nelson, not great damage. We're turning, again, presuming that the DeGrasse has sent torpedoes our way. And putting our front turrets towards the DeGrasse. Still got an eye out on the Nelson in the background. DeGrasse is angling. The Nelson is not. Front two turrets at the Nelson with armor piercing.
The ship is on fire.
And there's the high caliber metal. 4 pens. And we are well over 100,000 damage. We're going to activate our second sonar charge. Turning to get the rear turret around on the DeGrasse. We are going to engage him with the rear turret. And finish him off for our 4th kill. Continuing to turn and avoid his torpedoes. We're shooting at the Nelson, who's continuing to give us a good profile there. That was kind of a lackluster salvo. Got an eye on the Scharnhorst, who's coming around the island. The Nelson got taken down to the very end, but I do not want to give him my broadside in order to get the rear turret on target. Maybe I should have done that. The Nelson just hanging on, but he burns down before we can get the Kraken, folks. Alright, Scharnhorst is my last chance for glory here. We're going to send that armor piercing his way. And that's not very great. I want to say the other 2 ships aren't anywhere near me. So really, I've got to engage Scharnhorst here and take him out. And originally I was very worried about that he was going to try to move in on me in Torp. But then, for some inexplicable reason, he turned away. Did he forget he had torpedoes? I just can't imagine why he would do that. So we're waiting, and then we'll send the full salvo. We're going to switch to high explosive. And I'm going to tell you, I probably should not have done that in retrospect. Alright, just 2 ships left. We're still hunting for the Kraken. I mean, I guess you could call this maybe, we already have 1 Kraken fail under our belts, working on the second one. Scharnhorst giving us a good profile here. We're shooting HE. I'm like, I'm just going to set him on fire. We're turning in a little bit to mitigate his salvo, and we do that. Front 2 turrets of HE. We do okay damage. I think I should have fired armor piercing. I think I might have been able to kill him if I had been shooting armor piercing. Alright, turning to get that rear turret back on target. I'm trying to tell this cruiser to lay off so I can get the Kraken. He is ignoring me, as my teammates love to do. Shot out, and it is not going to get there quick enough. And so we Kraken fail for a second time. Alright, Miyoko, the bottom line is we are not going to get into range of the Miyoko to engage him. So it is a double Kraken fail in the Duke of York. But all in all, I think I'm kind of surprised at how tough the Duke of York was in this match. Now, granted, we were top tier. But I can tell you this is easily the best match I've ever played in the Duke of York. That being said, I don't have a ton of matches under my belt in this ship. So although the Hood is much more forgiving in terms of its accuracy, which is clearly better, I don't think it's terrible. I just think maybe you need a little bit more skill or a little bit more time behind the wheel to unlock the Duke of York's full capabilities. All right, here we are on the victory screen. High caliber metal dreadnought medal, 138,553 total damage, 4 big kills, 5 hits the Citadel. We ended up with 705,143 silver, 12,481 ship XP, 3,125 green XP, 20,045 commander XP. Pretty happy with that scoreboard, if I do say so myself. All right, whew, that's a lot of numbers I gave out there. Let's move on to the team result. There we are at the top of the board, 2 medals, 4 big kills, 25-21 base XP. That's officially a good game. And a double Kraken fail because my teammates, as you know, never give up. We dominated the enemy team. I don't think that was really up for debate in this match. All right, let's go into the port and take a look at the Duke of York. In terms of the upgrades, aiming system mod 1, damage control system mod 2, and concealment system mod 1. Moving on to the loadout, you got 3 charges of the repair party and 2 charges of a 4.2 kilometer sonar for ships, 3 kilometers for torpedoes. It runs for 94 seconds. I do not, under any circumstances, recommend using the enhanced secondary targeting consumable on this ship. The sonar is definitely the way to go, in one man's humble opinion. All right, Epic Commander XP Booster Flag, Epic Global XP Booster Flag, Epic Credit Booster Flag. Got this Type 9 Permanent Camouflage, and the Friendship Day 21 flag. Moving on to the specs. They changed it, I think, from stats. Survivability, 60,500 hit points, 22% torpedo damage reduction. Got those 2 quad and 1 twin 356mm turret, 17.9 kilometer firing range, 27.8 second reload, 34.6 second turn time. HE shells, 6,100 max damage with a 41% fire chance. AP shells, 10,500 max damage. 8 twin 134mm secondaries, 4.7 kilometer firing range, 6.7 second reload, which is too long to build into it, folks. HE shells, 1,900 max damage with an 8% fire chance. So, I mean, the damage is good, but the reload is just too long, and it's not long range enough. Do not waste your time building into the secondaries. AA defense, there's a ton of stuff here. You can see it is all extremely short range. Your best AA is the 40mm 39QF Mark 8. Your secondaries are not dual purpose in this ship. Max speed, 28 knots, 790 meter turning circle, 18.3. Yikes. Second rudder shift time. Concealment, a little bit better, 12.4 on the surface, 10.4 from the air, 12.5 when firing in smoke. Here's our stats. 13 matches. This was the best game I ever played in the Duke of York. I don't think I did our stat comparison, so while you look at the armor viewer and me scrolling through that, we will talk about the stats here, if I can figure out which stats I'm going to use. All right, hit points. Duke of York is 6th at 60,500. As you know, the Hood is number 1, 67,700. Firing range, Scharnhorst number 1, 17.9. Duke of York at the bottom, 15.9. Same as the Hood. Armor piercing DPM, Lyon, 304,000. Duke of York, 213,559, which is 7th. The Hood is 11th in that comparison. AADPS, North Carolina is number 1 with 476. Florida is number 2. Duke of York is number 3 with 298. Max speed, Hood is number 1 with 32. Duke of York is 8th with 28. The slowest ship is the Colorado with 21 knot speed. Anyway, that is the armor view of the Duke of York, which I did not discuss because I was giving you stats. All right, here's Andrew Cunningham for our build, fully maxed out. We're using AL New Jersey and Palo di Revel. Base rate increased the shell groupings, so that is good. You definitely want to use that on this ship. Flammable cannoneer crisscross. Marksmanship, if I could control my controller. Reaching out XXL. And fight fire with fire. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this match in the Iron Duke. I just think it's a ship that needs A, this commander, and B, a little more time, and C, probably doesn't do as well down tier. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this match. And if you are happy with this match, don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one.